This is a focus group video for On the Run Productions film Hit 'em Hard.
Okay. First question is, if the trailer is too long, will it begin to bore you? And if so, how long should it be?
It has to be a certain time, so I'd say about a maximum of a minute, I'd say. Because longer than a minute it gets a bit too much.
Well, most film trailers are between 2 minutes and 2.5 minutes, so
Really?
yeah.
I don't even notice, okay. I guess it's up to then, like, how much action you put into the trailer then as well. So I guess there'd have to be like a rise and fall in dramatics, like, throughout the trailer to keep it interesting.
Okay, when you watch a trailer, is there anything you look for specifically, like profile of the characters, action, the genre, or the plot?
If a lot of fight scenes, an introduction to all the different characters, various locations, and like a twist in the plot to encourage you to watch the film.
And then if bearing in mind it's a gangster film that we're doing, a gangster trailer, does that change what you now look for?
No, a lot of fighting with like guns specifically, because it is a gangster, maybe some robberies.
Is there anything that a trailer must contain or must avoid?
The correct pacing, so you don't want it to be too slow. You want it to build up and then, show the main story.
So it's a mixture of pace.
And what aspects of a film poster are most likely to convince you to go and watch the movie? For example, we're doing a gangster film, so what would kind of like convince you if you saw like a poster for a gangster movie, like this is a movie that you want to go see?
I guess there had to be some kind of ambiguity, like, within the picture as well.
For example, like there's a Public Enemy poster. Is there anything that attracts you to go and see that movie after looking at that?
Yeah, I like the whole mystery of it all. There's a lot of mystery in it because there's a lot of ambiguity inside the photos as well. Yeah, and I guess it has to have that kind of tension as well. So, like in the one on the far right, there's a lot of tension because of the gun. The gun is a very good way of like getting across that tension. That's good. It'll keep me like interested. And I want to watch it. I want to watch it. Yeah.
What posters do you prefer out of all three of them?
I like this one because he doesn't show his face and the tattoos. It's quite creative. There's not that much text, which is good.
Okay, what conventions would you expect to see on a typical gangster film poster? And you're looking at the two American gangster ones for this, yeah.
Dark lighting. Really dark lighting, and then maybe suits.
Yeah.
Suits.
I mean, it's-
Yeah.
A gun.
Suit. Yeah.
A gun
Guns.
is a very typical convention of a gangster film, so definitely include that to make the genre obvious to us.
And the font should be. It should reflect the theme of the film. So,
Does the main actor have to be clear? You've got a Carlitos Way poster, Get Rich or Die Trying, and City of God in front of you.
I don't know. It's more of a kind of like time period thing because with this one, it looks a bit more period. So the hero or the main character isn't too obvious, but it keeps you guessing, which is good. And I think that would be an interesting one for you to do, I guess, because it's not really done much nowadays. Whereas the ones where you've got, say, for example, the main character as the main feature of the poster or the advert, it's a bit overdone now. So, and it's kind of gives away a lot of the story already by looking at the photo. So I reckon if you did use a photo, it would be best to keep us guessing.
So it doesn't have to be that clear then.
It doesn't have to be too clear, no, because
You prefer the story to be hidden.
the interest is in the mystery. So yeah, I think you should go for something that's not too obvious and too in your face. Like
Alright.
here's the hero.
Are you likely to read the text on like the front of a magazine cover if it comes in bulk, will it kind of just put you off?
What do you guys think?
Because it's a gangster film, don't use too many colours. Like I'd say stick to red and dark colours. But the picture, I think, is a really good way of intriguing people to read it, rather than the captions. And a really catchy tagline would be good.
Yeah, taglines are a good idea actually.
How persuasive would a magazine cover be in making you watch the film?
I would look at the poster more for the film, not the magazine, but if it says something interesting, I would still go see it.
If I'm honest, I think that the magazine cover with the feature film I think it should have a lot of resemblance to the poster itself as well,
Yeah.
because then it has that whole synergy, and also don't overcomplicate it. Like this one is a bit too crowded. So if you were to do something like this, I wouldn't really want to watch it. It's too crowded, it's too much, it's just too much effort to look at it and see try and find where the data is and stuff of the film. That one, on the other hand, is a bit simpler, so it's more interesting. You've got less to look at, and it's, again, it's the whole attraction's in the mystery of wanting to see what's going on.
What is a more effective background? A scene to indicate setting or an artificial background? You've got.
Well, because it's a gangster, I'd say has to be a real location. Don't like word art it or anything like that. Just a real location.
Very specific locations you could think of.
Well, I don't know. Depending on what your film is, I'd say somewhere urban. I guess I don't know.
Like a London-based gangster film.
Yeah, if it's okay, then I would say
The council is
possibly,
saying.
yeah. Either somewhere that's a bit more urban, built up, I guess. This one's interesting though, however, because the background's there, but you can't really see it. But I'd say if you get a lot of the background as well and the scenery as well, although you could split it again, you could kind of like split the page, so you've got the character maybe, or the characters, or whatever it is, but you've got a bit of the scene as well, so then we can get an idea of the location and the kind of feeling behind the film.
So out of the two Empire magazines, which one do you prefer?
That one, furthest one here.
Okay, now I'm just gonna read you out a brief synopsis of our film, and if you can get feedback on what you might improve. The main character has just been convicted of a crime with a potential life sentence and is released on bail to return to the courts in 3 weeks to await sentencing. Determined to avoid the sentence, the main character has 21 days to accumulate as much money as possible in order to provide sufficient funds for his long-term friend who can help him escape the country. However, things turn pear-shaped when his friend gets trapped in the middle of a revenge plot on behalf of the main character's old enemies. So, any feedback or response on that?
It'd be really difficult to do it because the storyline's quite complicated. It'd be really difficult to portray that. So maybe a voiceover would help.
A voiceover, okay.
Yeah, saying a voiceover might help.
Are you sure? I don't
Just like. not
I don't
like-
think so, because then the thing is that when you have voiceovers, it tends to give it away a lot as well.
No, you could be like, oh, the voiceover could be like, he has just 21 days prepared to.
That could be written though, because I think, because when you get voiceovers there, it kind of makes it cheesy. Like, it's really difficult to make something sound very serious.
No,
if
but you
you've
know,
got
like
voiceover
in
there.
Get Rich or Die Trying, I swear 50 Cent like narrates a bit of it. So you could do
That's
something like
that's part of the we call it the film. They've used the audio clip of the film.
that. No, you could do
Yeah,
that.
So-
film
so-
scenes.
yeah.
Film scenes like actually saying that.
Yeah,
Okay,
the important bits that give away like sort of a hint of what's going on. So,
Yeah.
for example, maybe him on the phone to the guy that he's trying to get the money for, asking what's happening and what's going on or something like that. Just as long as you kind of get a kind of slight hint of what's going on in the film, but don't give it away.
Okay, and just finally, what about the camera shots for the trailer and the speed of the cuts? What do you kind
Like
of...
fast cuts for like action scenes.
Yeah,
Fast cuts
mix
throughout,
it
or-
mix it up. So have like say long one and then a couple of short ones
Yeah.
and then another long one and then a few more like, little bursts. Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.